Peace and light, family. I hope that y'all are well. Uh, Let me go here. Let me fix my stuff a little bit. Uh, I think this is good. Okay, so hold on, wait. Let me adjust a little bit more. All right, boom, boom. Okay, there we go. So I hope that y'all are well. First off, happy Juneteenth to everybody. I hope that y'all are enjoying y'all Black Independence Day because that's exactly what this is. So at the end of my last live, I discussed a little bit and went into detail. As far as I remember, I didn't rewatch it, but as far as I remember, I discussed exactly what Juneteenth was and why we celebrate Juneteenth. But if you are not aware, I'll just give a quick little sum up, which essentially Juneteenth is the Independence Day for Black people. So you know how on July 4th, America celebrates Independence Day. Juneteenth is our true Independence Day. It is the day that we as Black folks, hey Pip, it is the day that we as Black folks were officially set free. It is the day that the Emancipation Proclamation was read to the last Confederate state to free their slaves, which was Texas. So if you are not aware, essentially with the Emancipation Proclamation, in order for it to be ratified or to be enacted, it had to be read aloud in every Confederate state. And most Confederate states were because they wanted to hold on to slavery. They were not freeing their slaves until the Emancipation Proclamation was read in that state, which, as we know, during that time, it took a long time to go from state to state. So Texas was the last state to receive the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed all slaves. It is approximately 89 years after America celebrated its actual Independence Day, right? So think about that. We were still, even though America was free, we were enslaved. We were still enslaved, so we were not free. And oftentimes we celebrate, the 4th of July and we barbecue and we get together and we commune and, we have a good time. But in actuality, we were still enslaved. We were not free. So us celebrating the 4th of July, celebrating Independence Day, it is not our Independence Day. Juneteenth is our Independence Day. And I'm loving the fact that so many people are celebrating and open to Juneteenth. If you do not live in like a majority Black city, especially like in the north, like somewhere like Harlem or Brooklyn or Atlanta, certain places that's like majority Black and like Black. Hey, how you doing? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But if you don't live in like a city like that, you may just be understanding or just be hearing about Juneteenth and understanding exactly why we value Juneteenth. Fortunately, for a lot of people, especially in New York and in Atlanta and like progressive Black cities. We've been celebrating Juneteenth for a long time. I know Harlem always has a parade for Juneteenth. In Brooklyn, there's always something going on. Downtown Brooklyn used to be back in the day. Downtown Brooklyn's a little gentrified now. But back in the day, they used to always have Juneteenth celebrations. We used to be able to go to the Apollo Theater and various places in New York to celebrate Juneteenth. And I'm just so happy that we now have more Black folks and just people in general celebrating and honoring Juneteenth. And the most beautiful thing about it is that I think it's helping people to realize exactly what we went through, what our ancestors went through during the slave era, right? Because when we think about the era of enslavement, a lot of people don't even consider the fact that we were still enslaved 89 years after America celebrated its independence and what that meant for Black people of that time. Of course, we had Black folks fighting in the Civil War. Hey, Ashley, we had Black folks fighting in the Civil War and everything. But and we still, even though we were enslaved, we still saw ourselves as Americans. So most of us still saw ourselves as Americans. Therefore, even though some of us were forced into the Civil War, a lot of people don't know that a lot of Black soldiers were forced to fight in the Civil War. It wasn't a honorary thing for them. A lot of them were forced to fight in the Civil War. But for the most part, some Black soldiers still consider themselves as American. Were proud to represent America. But we were still enslaved, and we think about World War I, World War II, where in any war in America, really, where black folks did not have the same freedoms as the soldiers that they were fighting with in the country that they were fighting for. So that's just a horrible thing. Hey, how you doing? Peace. You know, that's just a horrible thing. So I'm loving the fact that with the celebration of Juneteenth and so many people becoming more aware of Juneteenth, we are really getting to a full perspective of exactly what our ancestors went through. And I'm just happy to see more people out. Today I went to the parade. We had a parade in Harlem, and I went to the parade, and it was just beautiful to see the streets lined with black folks, all the black vendors out, you know, celebrating, having a good time, all up and down we call it 2 Fifth, 125th Street, all up and down 2 Fifth. It was nothing but black folks just getting it in and just being loud, black, and proud. You know, of course, James Brown was blasting. You know, it felt like old New York. It felt like old Harlem again, where, you know, it's music, everybody outside with their speakers, music blasting. Like I said, the vendors up and down the street, black vendors selling jewelry and oils and art and all kind of stuff, clothes, everything handmade, homemade. It was just a beautiful experience. Oh, you're in Westchester? So Princess, pop it off. Pop it off in Westchester. And that's the thing, you guys. Like, I really wanted to do this live just to remind us of the value that we have in the spaces that we dwell in. Black folks, y'all, we some dope beings, okay? I don't know if y'all recognize how dope we are. Listen, we are some dope beings. You're in the Bronx. Look, take that train. What you about, a 6 train, a 4 train? Take that train. Take that train, the 4 train, right? I don't think the 6 does go to Pelham Park. But come on, come to Harlem. You know, I think they still doing something. I ended up leaving, y'all. It was hot. Okay, it's 80-something degrees in New York. People who think New York doesn't get that hot, listen, it was burning. Okay, so I ended up leaving a little early. But, you know, anyway, as black folks, we have just a power to create and to manifest and to really do it big in any way that we desire. And if you are in a city or you are in a space where they may not be celebrating Juneteenth, or there may not be a sacred space where black folks can get together and do drum circles and vend and sell things, create that space in your city. Create that space in your city. Be the person who manifests that. Even if it just starts with you and like a couple of your little friends, you know, your friend groups or your circles, and y'all just get together. I feel like I sound like somebody, you know, get a few of your little friends, somebody mama, you know, you and your little friends get together. But even if that's all it starts with, it's just you and your friends getting together and y'all sell a few things, and, you know, y'all do y'all drum circles and do sacred dances and, you know, honor ancestors publicly without shame. Even if it's just y'all, hey, Corey, even if it's just y'all, just do it, you guys. Do it. Do it. We have that power. We have that right to celebrate and to be free, and also know your rights. If the police stop you, the police cannot stop you, or they cannot stop you from gathering on public property, okay? So we are allowed to gather in public property. Now, depending on each state's laws, you may have to have a vendor's license if you guys are out there selling stuff. You know, you may need a vendor's license, but you can also do things on the low, you know. But, you know, if you may need a vendor's license if you want to sell stuff, but get together and celebrate. Hand out flyers, you know, print off a few flyers. You don't have to have anything out there. The beauty about black folks is, one, we support. That's a myth that black people do not support other black people. For the most part, we support, depending on what the support costs us. Now, it is difficult for a lot of black folks to support certain black businesses because we may not be financially equipped to support certain black businesses. But if you're having a gathering, a celebration, and it's free for people to attend, you're going to have music out there, you're going to have drummers out there, and people could just come out there and vibe. Y'all, folks is going to show up. And all you need is, what they said, with 2 or more gathered, he's in the midst. You know, all you need is 2, 3, 4, and more. Once people see y'all and y'all vibe and they see you celebrating and having a good time, more people will join, and you just make it an annual thing. So pop off your own Juneteenth celebration, bring the grill out, cook out, go to a local park, you know, and just do your thing. Have a potluck, but, you know, as black folks, we don't really do potlucks like that with people we don't know, you know. So I'll say, tell people to bring something to throw on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Have people bring something throw. You can put that on the flyer. Open barbecue or open cookout. Bring something to throw on the grill. Hot dogs, burgers, or something. A pack of Franks. Or have that as the entry fee. All you need is the. Thank you so much, Corey. I always appreciate your support. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Corey. God, cool. Thank you, Corey. But just have that be the entry fee. Have that a pack of hot dogs or burgers, some veggie burgers, something be the entry fee to get into the celebration or to join the celebration. But don't shame people if they ain't got it, But just create that space to manifest that space wherever you are. So I just wanted to say that as far as Juneteenth and some other things you could do to celebrate Juneteenth if you are in a space where it ain't a parade or stuff like that. Other things you could do is just go online, support a local Black business, support a Black business online, period. Black owned, Black woman owned. I did a video today for 2 Black businesses that I supported. I purchased from them last week. One of them I purchased from last week. The other one I purchased from last month. And I did a video today, so I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna edit that video and post it. But the 2 businesses are Essie Spice, which Essie Spice is a spice company by a beautiful sister from Ghana. I met her 3 years ago in Whole Foods, and she had just done a deal with Whole Foods. She was in Harlem, 125th Street in the Whole Foods, and she was grinding up her sauce from scratch. And if you know anything about Ghana, they have the bowl and they have the pounder. And she was pounding her sauce from scratch inside of Whole Foods, which about Whole Foods, that ain't normally our environment. So when I saw her doing that, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she was making her sauce from scratch. She had some that was already bottled and she was selling it in Whole Foods. Essie Spice, beautiful. Yes, I support Imani's earrings, absolutely. And let me say, I'll go into me supporting small Black businesses specifically after I promote Essie Spice. So Essie Spice is a beautiful company. Like I said, I met the sister. She was doing her thing, and I've literally watched this sister work. Ghanaian sister, amazing sauces and spices. She has a dry rub called Meko Rub. She has 3 different sauces, a tamarind sauce, a mango chili sauce, and then another one called cocoa garlic. I purchased the kit of 4. Y'all, they are only $9.99 per jar. Each jar is beautiful. Y'all gonna see the video. Each jar is beautifully decorated, packaged well, and they're 10.5 ounces, which is a lot. When I met her in Whole Foods, I purchased the mango chili one on the spot. That sauce, y'all, lasted me over a year, okay? And it's powerful. All of her sauces, the dry rub is powerful. You only need a pinch, and it goes a long way. And I seasons my food. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that, I be cooking and stuff sometimes. But I seasons my food. And her sauces and spices last a long time. $9.99 Essie Spice. I'm going to post the video so it'll have the link to her website and all of that. Amazing. And then the second business that you're going to see me promote in the video is my sister Unique Wallflowers on Instagram. Her Instagram is Unique Wallflowers, and she makes amazing sugar scrubs. Sugar scrubs are exfoliators that you can use for your whole body. Lips, anything, hands, whatever. Like I said, full body sugar scrub. And they are $15 for the half pint, $25 for the full pint. 100% vegan, excellent product. And y'all, I'm very finicky about what I put on my body. I have very sensitive skin. Amazing product. Unique Wallflowers is her Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel as well, Unique Wallflowers. She recently did a video why Black people shouldn't burn white sage, so you can go check that out if you want to. But beautiful sister, like I said, I'm gonna put that video. But anyway, Juneteenth. Support Black businesses, and really just do what you could do for the community. Learn about our history, learn about where we come from. Sit down with your family, watch documentaries, read something that's just dedicated to us and dedicated to our history. Do all Black everything. Black movies, you could do old school Black movies. Listen to some music, some good Black music, and just enjoy and just celebrate. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. Google Doodle and a video came up. Okay. But just love it. Do you have any promotion for head wraps? I don't have any promotion for head wraps, Maya. But I'm actually gonna look for some. So something that I do when it comes to like me doing the promotions for small black businesses, I don't get paid for any of the promotions I do. I don't get paid for any of it, and I buy the products. I don't promote anything that I don't actually use. So what I do is like I go and I seek out. Right now, I'm focused on seeking out black women-owned businesses. I support all black businesses, but I really want to support black women and help us get our businesses off the ground, and just like really out there. So as far as my head wraps, most of my head wraps I either got in Africa when I was traveling Africa, or I got here in Harlem or in Brooklyn somewhere from vendors. So I get my head wraps very like local, depending on where I am. So I don't have like a online website or something. But if you guys find something, a head wrap company, I know. I forget the name of it, but I think their name was like Just Wraps on Instagram or something. But I know there are some head wrap companies out there. But if you guys know a good one where I can get 2 yards, 1 yards don't fit around all my locks. I need 2 yards of fabric. If y'all know a good head wrap company, black owned, I can get some head wraps and stuff from. Leave it in the comments. I'll definitely support, buy the product, and do an unboxing and tutorial, all that stuff for the head wrap company. Also, if you have a small black business, let me know what you are selling and what you do, and I'll be happy to support, and I'll do a video for you as well. You know, we got to share our platforms and we got to support each other. But yeah, so just make sure that y'all are celebrating with your family and friends. Like I said, learning about our history, learning about our culture, you know, listen to some music and just really vibe. And honestly, the biggest thing is like honoring our ancestors, right? Honoring our ancestors, being mindful of being respectful of our ancestors, respecting where we come from and who we are. I see that a lot of people, and I don't want to, you know, harp on it, but I see a lot of people, you know, wear those shirts and hold up those signs saying we are not our ancestors and stuff. And honestly, you guys, like that's a little disrespectful, a lot of disrespectful to say that we are not our ancestors, you know, because I feel like that's insinuating that our ancestors were weak, or our ancestors gave up, or our ancestors just allowed people to do anything to them. And that is simply not the case. We would not be here if our ancestors did not survive and thrive through their circumstances. Absolutely. I am my ancestors. I love that. You know, we are our ancestors. I get chills thinking about it. You know, like literally I got chills right now because we are our ancestors. We are a manifestation of their prayers, their root work, their dances, their songs. We are a manifestation of their survival. You know, their strength dwells within us. I was talking to my grandfather today, and he was comparing, my granddaddy is 84 now. He was comparing the civil rights movement back in the day to where we are now, what we're going through now. And the most beautiful thing about it is like my grandfather was able to talk about, his grandfather was a slave. So my grandfather's grandfather was a slave, and he was enslaved, I should say. That's something else we got to work on is our vocabulary, you know, because they were not slaves. They were African people. They were royalty, kings and queens, gods and goddesses who were enslaved. So he was enslaved, born into slavery in South Carolina, and because of the emancipation, he was freed. He eventually became a sharecropper. If you know anything about sharecropping, you know that process. And by the time my grandfather was born, his granddaddy at that point had already been freed. He was a sharecropper and everything. So he knew his grandfather as a sharecropper. My grandfather talks about them having land, him working the land, their land. His grandfather, Joe, he had so much land. He had worked so hard, but they had boundaries around his land. He was so good at farming that his crops would grow outside of the boundaries. And people in the community, other black folks, would come and purchase his crops and stuff. He was known for feeding his community and everything. Well, the white folks got mad and kept burning his crops. They kept setting his crops on fire. So my grandfather's little boy memory is his grandfather being revered in the community, being appreciated because he fed them. He would give stuff away for free. You know, he was that person, and the white folks destroying everything he had, and he had to end up going to work in a cotton mill, which for him felt like going backwards. And then it became a generational thing. His father, who's my grandfather's father, Finney, ended up working in a cotton field, in the cotton mill in Georgia. They ended up moving to Georgia, working in a cotton mill. My grandfather ended up working in a cotton mill, and then eventually during the Great Migration, my grandfather moved to New York City, and that's how my whole family ended up being in New York City. But you know, just to hear my grandfather talk about his history and talk about everything he's seen from him going through the Great Migration, and moving to New York City and experiencing when he was in the South as a young boy, experiencing seeing black boys get lynched, seeing family members of his get lynched and killed just for nothing, being a black man being accused of rape, raping white women, and you never see them again. How that was the fear, him having to walk down the sidewalk, and if a white person is walking, you got to move and step off the sidewalk. A lot of people think that they had to step to the side. No, they had to get off the sidewalk to let a white person pass. When white people pass them, having to look down. You can't make eye contact with a white woman or white man. If they tell you to do something, no matter where you were, you had to do it. And this is long after slavery. This is Jim Crow South. So to hear my grandfather tell these stories and him eventually being tired and deciding that he's going to move to New York as a teenager. My grandfather dropped out of school in the 6th grade. Think about that. And a lot of us have experienced that. A lot of our grandparents, great-grandparents experienced that. Not being able to be educated because they had to work and provide for their families. My grandfather moved to New York, so to hear him talk about experiencing Jim Crow South, moving to New York, and then boom, the civil rights movement becomes a thing. And Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, he's seen all of this. Once again, my grandfather's 84 years old. He's seen all of this. So he's comparing the civil rights movement from then until now. And the main thing my grandfather said? Ain't nothing changed. He said it ain't no different. He said, I ain't gonna lie, we got a little better. We a little better than we was. He said, at least I don't gotta step into the street for a white man no more. And that's the lens that my grandfather is looking at it through. Like, at least I could walk down a sidewalk. Think about that basic civil liberty. At least I could walk down a sidewalk past a white person now. So we have changed some, but everything is still the same. I let him listen to Tamika D. Mowry's speech, and he was just floored. And he started naming so many sisters that she reminded him of. He talked about Fannie Lou Hamer. He talked about Angela Davis, Sister Soldier. And he was like, she reminded me of this person and that person, that person. She sounds just like that. Martin Luther King said something like that. I remember when Stokely Carmichael gave a speech at such and such. So when we say that we are not our ancestors, we are discrediting all of these great people that we have come from. We are that. I am that. You are that. We are these great warriors, right? Because they are warriors. And as my grandfather said, it's the same thing. So we are them. We're just taking the torch and we're carrying it a little further. And our children are carrying it a little bit further, and so on and so forth. So I'm grateful to, number one, still have my grandfather. And if you have your grandparents, if you have a great aunt, an uncle, anybody who really is over the age of 60, they can tell you some stories. My eldest aunt is in her 60s, and she got stories. She remembers things. She remember when Martin Luther King was assassinated. She remember the Watts riots. She remember when the whole thing happened with Rodney King and the verdict with Rodney King and all of that. She remembers heavily the O.J. Simpson trial and stuff like that, which those things were not too long ago. Rodney King was not that long ago. Martin Luther King being assassinated that was 1968. My mother was born 1968, so my eldest aunt, who's my mother's oldest sister, she remembers that day vividly. So ask those questions, sit with your elders, ask them, compare it to now, play the speeches, play Tamika D. Mowry's speech, let them listen to Joe Biden and ask your grandfather what's the difference between Reagan and Joe Biden. Or Reagan and Nixon. Ask them what they remember about John F. Kennedy and what do they remember about Malcolm X. How did they feel the day Malcolm X was assassinated? This is how we get to retain our history. That's oral tradition, So on a day like today where this is the Black Independence Day, let's take the time to really learn what we became free from and how much further we have to go until we are able to attain true freedom. And let's learn those lessons of the past, Talk to your elders, sit at their feet. I'm a little girl to my granddaddy. I'm his baby, and still am in my eyes and in his eyes. I sit at my granddaddy's feet. I sit on the phone with him, and I just ask question after question after question, because I want to know. I want to know what it was like. I wasn't there in the 50s. My granddaddy was. I wasn't there in the 40s. My granddaddy was. I wasn't there in the 60s. My granddaddy was. So instead of just watching the documentaries and the movies, I get a first-hand account. So talk to those old church mothers. You know how they got the church mothers in all the churches? Talk to the old church mothers. Ask them questions. Like I said, talk to your great aunts, your mother, your father, grandparents, and ask them questions and really study. Really, truly study. I don't know you. That's him is funny. I don't know you. That's him. But really study the history. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the thing. But really study the history and study where we come from. And then also, let's celebrate each other today. The same way we honor and we celebrate our ancestors, we put out offerings for them, especially when you're celebrating your ancestors today. Y'all put out a little offerings, pour some libations. When you're pouring libations, you just simply want to have whatever you like to drink. It ain't always got to be liquor, but whatever you enjoy drinking, just pour a little bit out into the ground, into the grass for your ancestors, and just pay homage and thank them. Say a prayer in their honor, appreciate them, pour some libations today. But really, let's celebrate and honor each other today. I've been hesitant about going live because I do have a lot of thoughts on what's going on. Of course, I pay attention to everything. I watch the news and all of that. The Breonna Taylor law passed. I had some discord with the Breonna Taylor law because although, yes, it's good that they have the no-knock warrant, you guys, please, they have the law against no-knock warrants. Let me be clear. Please read the law. Please read the law and understand that it's not that much different. They put her name on the law, but if you read the law, the police can still attain a no-knock warrant. They can still attain a no-knock warrant. They just have to prove that there is a threat, it's imminent threat or harm, which they can do with any drug warrant. If that's automatically comes with a drug warrant because they associate drugs with guns. All they got to say is this person is a known drug dealer. He may have a weapon in the house, imminent threat, no-knock warrant. Any DV case, domestic violence case, imminent threat or harm, no-knock warrant, boom. So there's a lot of different situations where they are still allowed to do no-knock warrants. So please read it. And a lot of us were celebrating, and I understand that it's a small step, but please read the law. But like I said, I just been hesitant because I don't want to promote any discord in the Black community. I saw the B. Simone thing. I've been paying attention to the J. Cole versus No Name thing. And I just think it's not a time for us to be separated and divided. And I feel like the media is using various tools to divide us, and we're giving them room and we're giving them space to do that. We're giving them the ammunition and they firing, So although I don't think that specifically J. Cole's intentions were negative, he said a lot of, right things in the song, correct things when he said, we need to be gentle with each other. We need to educate each other, be mindful that, everybody plays different positions is essentially what I got from the song. And no, it wasn't the right time for him to go at a sister. We shouldn't be going at each other, period. But, I think more than anything, let's just take away the lesson. Let's just take away the messages, not to say he was right, because this definitely was not the time. And nor was No Name wrong in what she said. But at the end of the day, they're both beautiful, amazing Black artists who are for the same cause. They're for the same, they have the same intentions, I believe, which is support the Black community. I think we just got to start giving each other more of the benefit of the doubt, and just loving on each other more, and just don't take every opportunity we have to divide. The B. Simone thing, everybody was getting on her, which, yes, what she did was wrong, copying and pasting and, using people's materials, especially other Black folks, and, essentially stealing other people's creative art. But at the same time, let's give each other the benefit of the doubt and just say the sister maybe didn't know. You know, a lot of us who have black businesses, we're normally the first in our family. She said she was a first time entrepreneur. You know, a lot of us don't know. We don't know how to properly publish a book. We don't know how to properly ship an item. We don't know how to properly, you know, be mindful of time frames and stuff. We're just learning. So when you support black folks, you're supporting us with everything, with all of it, the lack of knowledge and the knowledge, the wisdom and the lack thereof. You know, and it's about being patient with each other and giving each other a second chance, a third chance. We got to be more patient with black businesses than we normally would with any other business, because black business for most of us, black business in the mainstream sense is a new thing. You know, being a vendor is that's something that we're used to. Being a street vendor is something that we've been doing for generations. But having an online business, having websites and selling products and all of that stuff, this is new for black folks. Being able to publish books and promote books and stuff, all of that is new for black folks. If we think about publications from back in the 60s and 70s, first off, black folks wasn't even allowed to read and write, okay? But if we think about when we did start to develop those arts and those tools, publications in the 60s and 70s from black folks, most of the time black authors were gypped out of their money. And then also it wasn't that many. We probably could name most of the black authors from Toni Morrison's time, from W.E.B. Du Bois' time. We could name most of them. Why? Because it wasn't that many of us. So when I see a sister like her making what I would hope was a mistake and unintentional, we got to be patient. That don't mean that you buy the book, because the sister do got to correct it. But I don't think we should all down each other and just be so quick to jump on her. Instead, let's say, you know what, somebody who is a published author and does well should reach out to the sister and say, sis, let me show you how to do this the right way. You know, I support some black businesses, y'all, who I don't put videos up. And I don't put videos up because the product wasn't, you know what, either number one, it wasn't what I ordered, or number two, it wasn't good quality. But instead of downing them, I just send my feedback. I'll keep the product. I'll send my feedback. I don't ask for returns and stuff like that. You know, I'll just send my feedback. If they say that they'll exchange or send a new one, cool. If not, I hope they accept the feedback. I send it with love. You know, I support it, and that's it. I move on. I'm not going to put up a video bashing them saying like, oh, y'all, I bought this. I bought a soap, y'all. That was, you know, I bought this soap and this soap wasn't good and I don't buy this. So I'm not going to do that. You know, we got to love each other. We got to support each other and just uplift each other. So anyway, y'all, I hope y'all celebrated y'all Juneteenth and are still celebrating your Juneteenth. You know, like I said, just dance, have a good time, you know, listen to some good Orisha music, you know, dance, just feel the vibe, feel the energy of the ancestors, pour your libations, put out your offerings, eat something good and cultural, you know, make you some curry chicken or something like that, you know, whatever you do. So some curry vegan patties or something, you know, whatever you choose to do, and just really enjoy the day and honor our ancestors and recognize how far we come, what we've been through, and where we still got to go. You know, like I said, watch the documentaries, talk to your elders, read the books, and just love on each other, y'all. Let's just really, really love on each other. Support black businesses. Support black midwives and doulas. Absolutely. We have to support black midwives and doulas, you guys. I'm a doula. I've been doing a lot of virtual consultations since COVID, and you guys, black doulas are becoming more common, but they're still rare. And we need black doulas and we need black midwives, you guys. We need it. Okay, what is it? Sanita? Is it Sanita Rose or Sanita Bruce? So y'all support the sister. She says she's a black doula. Sean is a black doula too. Come on, black doulas. Come on, black doulas, come through. In the comments, y'all, put y'all information so if people want to contact y'all to be their doula, they can be able to reach out and contact y'all. Support black doulas. And just in case you guys are not aware, you can have a doula even if you're having a hospital birth. Most of my doula work was done in hospitals when I first started, specifically because hospitals are where black women are mistreated the most. You know, home birthing is amazing. I promote home birthing, but I also still honor and respect sisters who choose to go to the hospital. And as doulas, we honor and respect sisters who choose to birth in whatever way they want to. If you want to go to the hospital, if you want to get an epidural, whatever you want to do, sister, we support you. You get you a Black doula who loves on you and who is willing to support you through your birth journey that you choose. But don't believe that because you are at a hospital, you can't have a doula. You need a doula if you're having a hospital birth. You need a doula because the doula's job, if you are in the hospital, is to advocate for you. Advocate, she's Boston Medical Center, absolutely. Advocate for you. So a doula's job is to advocate for you in the hospital. If you, whatever you want to do, if you want to keep your placenta, if you don't want an epidural, do want an epidural, we ask all the questions. If they're trying to pump you with certain medications, which they will do, making sure that whatever's in your IV is exactly what they said was going to be in your IV. We double check the paperwork, all of that. So, and they also just help you through the laboring process and through the birth process. You have certain doulas who will help you get started with breastfeeding and certain things like that, lactation consultants, so on and so forth. So even if you are having a hospital birth, you can still have a doula, okay? Don't be confused about that. But if you are having a home birth, of course, reach out to a doula, get you a good sister doula. And what I love most about the benefits of having a Black doula in particular is we come with ancestral magic. We come with ancestral works. So certain practices and certain things that we do to help you through labor and help you through birthing and postpartum care as well. So I'm a birth and postpartum doula. So postpartum care as well, where, certain herb baths, belly binding, things like that, where, we do that. We do that. So reach out to a Black doula so you can get that support. And postpartum care is a forever thing. Okay, I don't care how old your baby could be 3. You can still get some postpartum care and get a postpartum doula. Okay, so reach out to some of the sisters who hopefully leave their information in the comments so people could contact you all. I hope that y'all are also doing virtual consultations so that y'all can get contacts from anywhere in the country. But yes, support Black doulas, support Black businesses, y'all. Essie Spice, Unique Wallflower on Instagram. Like I said, I'm gonna post a video. Imani Sapia Kaleidoscope, I did her earrings and jewelry and stuff like that. I could go on and on about Black business support. Dietary Resolutions, Sabi's Daughters. As y'all know, if you follow me on Instagram, I promote them a lot. I take sea moss, bladderwrack, various herbs from Sabi's Daughters. Sabi's Daughters and Dietary Resolutions are the only proven lineage relatives of Dr. Sabi. Do not get sea moss or Dr. Sabi's approved products from anywhere other than Sabi's Daughters or Dietary Resolutions. Dietary Resolutions, that's his Instagram. He is the grandson of Dr. Sabi. Sabi's daughters are the daughters of Dr. Sabi. They have done interviews. They've been on multiple platforms. They have their own platforms. And they are the only official distributor of real Dr. Sabi's herbs. There are a lot of people out here who have Dr. Sabi approved and all of that other stuff. That stuff ain't real, okay? Don't support that stuff. Go to Dr. Sabi's Daughters, it's Sabi's Daughters LLC or Dietary Resolutions and get your sea moss and stuff like that. Black owned, like I said, direct lineage of Dr. Sabi. They've done multiple interviews, been on multiple platforms. Do not support anything else. But that's like the herbal care. Yes, I'll post the link. So I'm going to try to put the link to everything I discussed in the comments and pin it, y'all. I'm like the old lady when it comes to technology. I'd be like, how you pin that? How you do that? I had a Zoom conference and I could do Zoom. Somebody else tried to introduce me to another. It was Google Meets or something like that. I was like, how you do the Google Meets? I don't know how to do it, y'all. But I'm gonna work it out, I'll put the information in the comments and stuff or in the description box so that y'all can be able to, just click on the link and support especially Dr. Sabi's and get the herbs. I'm always pushing y'all to take y'all herbs and make sure that you at least, like I said, every day at least do peppermint and ginger. But if you can do more, do more. I personally, from Dr. Sabi's herbs, I do the bitters, I do the sea moss and bladderwrack. I've also done I've done quite a few of them. I've done the female balance in the past. What else have I done? I did the detox one in the past. I've done a lot of different ones. My aunt was on Dr. Sabi years ago, so she used to always give us, like, Dr. Sabi's herb when Dr. Sabi was alive. He used to sell the loose herbs. Now they have the capsules, and you could take the capsules. But that's it. So right now I'm just doing the sea moss and the bitters. But I also do my own herbal regimen where I have sarsaparilla, padiaco, ashwagandha, and I do various other things, peppermint, ginger, all that good stuff. Cinnamon, which is the anti-inflammatory, that's good for, just bringing down swelling in the bodies. Ladies, especially if you're starting your menstrual cycle, cinnamon is a good anti-inflammatory. Burdock root is good, ladies, for your menstrual cycle as well. It's the burdock root, sarsaparilla, padiaco are good for the men, men to keep you strong and balanced. Ginseng also is good for the men, if you struggle with impotence or anything like that. Y'all don't get me started. I could go. Okay, don't get me started. But also tonight, you guys support the Versus battle with John Legend and Alicia Keys, Black-owned platform. I'm always talking about Versus, and what I love so much is that Swiss Beats and Timberland, they started Versus. It was their idea, and they are refusing to sell Versus to white-owned companies. They want to sell it to a Black-owned company. If it's not Black-owned, they said they're not even taking the meetings. And they've been offered millions and millions of dollars according to them for it, but they ain't taking it. So I push us and urge us to please support those brothers, Black brothers, and a lot of us, we be like, oh, they already got money, they don't need our support. That's not true, y'all. We got to support each other at all levels, okay? They make us the money, but they could use more money, okay? And it's free. Instagram, Versus TV. Support them. John Legend, Alicia Keys, battling tonight. Support them. Black-owned folks, they refusing to sell out. We got to show love for us, okay? That's where the Beanie Man battle was. Beanie Man and I can't believe who. I was about to say Busy Signal. Who did Beanie Man battle? I can't believe I'm blinking. Somebody tell me who Beanie Man battle. It was Beanie Man versus. It wasn't Busy Signal. Who did Beanie Man battle, y'all? Somebody put it in the comments. Who did Beanie battle? Beanie Man versus who? Oh, I cannot believe I'm blinking. And I can hear the song in my head. I can't believe I'm blinking. But that's what the Beanie Man battle was. You said Ninja. I can't think of who it was. But that's what Jill Scott and Erykah Badu battle was. But support Versus, y'all, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, I believe. It'll be on Versus TV, on Instagram, Alicia Keys, John Legend. Support them, y'all, okay? So happy Juneteenth. Enjoy y'all day, and really rest, relax, celebrate. Bounty Killer, yes, Bounty Killer. Yes, go ahead, Pip, thank you. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. That's who he battled, Bounty Killer. But yes, y'all, so enjoy y'all day, celebrate Juneteenth, eat well, be well, drink well, be safe, pour y'all libations, honor your ancestors, learn and value our history, and just do you. Do whatever you want to do, y'all, and just be free. Be free as fuck, okay? Be free. Peace, y'all. Much love.